Hey, what is up mortals? It is Justin here and welcome to What If Naruto Was a Saiyan. Just wanted to greet you guys by just saying sit back and relax, you're in for a treat, and so we begin. From Naruto's perspective, the subtle noise of slurping that floods his ears are all that he wants to hear at times like this. Ichiraku Ramen was by far the linchpin of Naruto's sanity in times of turmoil. A place that closely describes to that of his nirvana. The smells and flavors that this pinnacle drives through are that of memories and good times. The blonde genin indulged in this, slurping down the third helping of his usual menu choice. He placed the recently finished vessel for his delicacy onto the pile of other bowls he accumulated. Upon doing so, it didn't take long for his mentality to switch back into a stressful state. It was the reason why he reached out to this place, an escape to temporary euphoria. His memories flooded back to about a week ago, when he raised his hand to bail out of the exams. Perhaps it was too quick of a judgment call for him to make, but it was too late to do anything about it at this point. He did all of those months of hardship with his team, preparation, bleeding, tactics, training one another, all for nothing. He sighed in minor regret. After all, it's been a week. He's had plenty of time to feel sorry for himself. I wonder how Sasuke is doing. Last I heard, Kakashi took him under his wing for a bit. No wonder I couldn't participate in low-grade missions to pass the time. A gentle ambiance of humming rang in Naruto's ears. It was hardly anything worthy to pique his interest. That was until the claw signs to Ichiraku's shop fluttered outward by the hand of a long white-haired geezer. His physique was broad, even for a full-grown adult. The wrinkled face of his was neck-deep into his reading material. From what Naruto's eyes could catch, the kanji was a bit pronounced. Icha tactics. Make-out tactics? Thinking back, Naruto remembered Kakashi being obsessed with a similar book. What was it called again? Make-out Paradise? He rolled his eyes in disappointment, another obsessor of boring topics like those. Maybe Naruto spent too much time on the topic. By the time he caught back up with reality, the elder wasn't present. Upon looking down, he saw the finished bowl, but there was no paid tab. Sorry, Naruto. I thought you knew that guy. He left you with the bill. In an instant, there was outrage. What? Naruto jolted from his stool, grabbing the receipt, and threw what was left of his spare change at the countertop. He booked it towards the sly elder's general direction. Hey, you went the other way! Teuchi called out. It was the least he could do to help out his most valuable customer and most recent swindler victim. Thank you! The dust cloud that followed after Naruto's pace was uncanny. Racing through every nook and cranny for this guy shouldn't have been as hard as it was. How could he miss someone with such an outlandish appearance? Probably because he was in the last place Naruto would think to check, the hot springs. The lingering irritation all over his face was only understandable, acceptable even. To have to chase this pervert of an old man down all day because he went off forcing his tab on Naruto was only his right to be frustrated. When Naruto finally caught up to the stranger, he was still reading his book, walking casually as if this was a typical day for him. Hey you! Naruto was out of breath. Fighting the wheezing from interrupting his words, the old man kept ignoring the young genin. Naruto ran up, hand sprung over Jiraiya's shoulder, and stole the book from him, landing on the other side. Stop ignoring me! Jiraiya's lips curled into a smile as he stroked his chin with his thumb. His facial expression was that of impressed. To be honest, Jiraiya had no intention of letting Naruto get the chance to catch up to him, not to mention getting his hands on the book. However, this was short-lived as he immediately freaked out over the fact that a child's holding his inappropriate reading material. Hey kid! Give that back! It's mine! Naruto closed the book, doing his damnedest to play keep-away with Jiraiya, twisting his body, distancing the book out of arm's reach despite their size differences. Naruto's tail whipped around the book, allowing Naruto to focus his arms solely on pushing back the oversized geezer. He fled to the light posts, climbing to the top of one, that combined with the tail made him come off too much like a monkey. Jiraiya had a hearty laugh from the spectacle. He teased the book at the child, and Naruto looked down to see that his tail was still wrapped, but no book. The geezer smiled, signaling Naruto to accompany him.
You must be Naruto, right? Name's Jiraiya. I'll be your sensei from here on out.
After that, several days passed, and they both were acquainted with one another. Since Naruto doesn't have any plans anytime soon due to the dropout, Jiraiya received express permission to leave the village with Naruto for a time with Hiruzen. Danza was also present. Since he was paying attention, he sent another Anbu to watch them. They both packed their things and set out for Mount Mioboku.
Hey, Jiraiya-sensei, what made you want to teach me? I mean, we barely know each other.
Jiraiya didn't really need to ponder over the idea. He just answered back swiftly.
I would like to see it as a favor to an old friend of mine.
Huh? That comment kind of threw off Naruto. Outside of Kakashi, Iruka-sensei, and Teiuchi, Naruto couldn't think of any other adults he's friendly with. Though it wouldn't make sense to be any of them, or else they would have mentioned Jiraiya by now.
Where are we going anyway?
Jiraiya sighed. Now wasn't the time to speak about such crucial information out loud. They were being followed after all.
Somewhere far.
Too far to get there at a decent time without taking a few shortcuts.
Hop on my back.
Naruto mounted Jiraiya's back, and they took off with immense speed. Nothing too impressive to Naruto, but fast enough to lose the Anbu. They dabbled in the muck of the swamp they arrived in. Jiraiya drew out the scroll hanging from his back and unraveled it. Jiraiya guided Naruto on it by himself.
I'll see you there, kid. I've got a few things to pick up. But I have friends there that can help guide you. Good luck, Naruto.
Next thing he knew, Naruto vanished in a cloud of smoke. The reverse summoning to Mount Myoboku was a success. It took a few moments, but his eyes were dreary from the adventure.
Ha ha, I guess this old whippersnapper just had his first experience with summoning jutsu firsthand.
Naruto was still too busy trying to recuperate himself with his new surroundings to really pay attention to the voice. After his eyes dilated and refocused, he really had a hard time grasping where he was. The wall of giant frog statues was the first thing to really catch his eye.
Hey kid, you deaf in the ears or something? You should respond to the elders when they're talking to you.
Naruto slapped his head a bit, double-checking his surroundings to make sure he hadn't gone crazy.
Down here!
Naruto focused his gaze downward, seeing 3 toads wearing robes. 2 of them were older-looking, wrinkled, slimy skin, overgrown pores. The younger one had a funny smile on his face, anxious to see Jiraiya's new friend.
Hey there, bud. You're younger than I imagined you being. Gah!
Naruto sprung back to a wall, hyperventilating a bit by the thought of talking frogs. The elder frog sighed as he leaned on his walking stick.
Yes, Jiraiya boy didn't say anything ahead of time. Well, in the world of war we live in, that's only understandable.
Fukasaku's lips bent to a smirk, stabbing the stick gently into the floor.
But to think, you're the son of his most prized student. My, how time sure does fly by.
Shima slapped the back of his head.
You old goat! It's not our place to start spouting Jiraiya's history to the boy.
Fukasaku rubbed his head, giving his frog spouse the side-eye, annoyed with her but understood where she came from.
Well, that's beside the point. Welcome to Mount Myoboku, young Naruto. Please make yourself at home while you're here. Shima's got dinner going, so explore to your heart's content.
Naruto was still taken back to what he said before.
What do you mean, I'm the son of Pervy Sage's student? You know my father?
The frogs awkwardly gazed at each other. Gamakichi and Naruto watched, oblivious to the weight of those words. Shima grabbed Gamakichi, dragging him along. Fukasaku followed along, avoiding the question.
Come on, Naruto boy. There's plenty for you to see and learn while you're here.
Naruto sighed in disappointment. He was so close to finally digging up info about his history. Though it's a relief to know that there are those out there who know something, it'll be inevitable for him to eventually find the truth. Naruto forced his chin up. After all, he has a whole new world to explore. Some time passed, the sunset fading behind the distant mountains. Fukasaku and Naruto arrived at the well of frog oil.
Naruto boy, have you heard of nature energy before?
The orange genin had to ponder for a minute through all the lessons Kakashi gave him on the way to the land of waves. Strangely enough, nature energy wasn't brought up once throughout any of his teachings. Even thinking back to his academy years, he can't recollect any of the sort.
Afraid not. Though I'm guessing it has something to do with the two chakra forms, spiritual and physical.
The tiny frog nodded, quite astonished at the intellect of such a young child. Though it was a relief. It's the smart ones that make this lesson more comfortable to teach.
Well, seems you know your stuff, but I'm not surprised you haven't heard of the third, nature energy. As you are aware, when you gather chakra inside of you to turn it into a jutsu, all you're really doing is taking a combination of spiritual and physical energy, transforming it into one of the 7 chakra natures. Now, nature energy is an entirely different beast. A sixth sense for you ninja, if you will. Instead of drawing energy out from yourself, nature energy utilizes the energy of all living things around you. However, it is a complicated endeavor to utilize, hence why it is imperceptible for most. During your time here, Jiraiya Boy requested us to teach you Sage Mode, the name of the transformation one undergoes by mastering such energy. Though when Jiraiya finally arrives, he'll be teaching you summoning jutsu on the side, the very same jutsu used to bring you here. You have a lot of work ahead of you, my boy. It would be wise to spend these next few weeks steadfast. After all, your very limits of patience, physicality, wit, and taste buds will be tested.
Taste buds? Fukasaku had a cheeky smile plastered on his face.
Come on, my boy. It's time we were on our way back for dinner. It's Shima's home cooking after all. Can't miss it.
Back in Konoha's outskirts, Jiraiya was face to face with the Anbu tailing him. It wasn't surprising that the great sage caught him red-handed.
What is it about Naruto that has Danzo so enticed with his whereabouts?
The Anbu stood silent, not faltering before the great sage to release Danzo's business. The masked ninja drew out a brush with paper. This intrigued Jiraiya. The Anbu took little to no time to draw out a few beasts as they lifted up off the page, flowing in the air with ferocious intent to attack Jiraiya.
Got it. So talking isn't your thing.
The pores on Jiraiya's face overgrew as his eyes dilated horizontally like a frog. He threw a punch, erupting the ink summons into that of just a puddle. Leaping forward at the Anbu as the ink wielder drew his kunai to brace for attack. Jiraiya smirked and raised his hands up to his lips, spitting out oil by the gallons, all over the Anbu. He was helpless at this point, as Jiraiya used the chance to flee with his enhanced physicality. The oil kept the pursuer busy with wiping the black muck from his vision. This gave Jiraiya plenty of time to perform the reverse summoning, escaping the stalker ninja. When Jiraiya arrived, his eyes were welcomed to the sight of Naruto gagging over the food that the Elder Toads forced down his throat. It forced a genuine smile out of him, looking back to when Minato also wasn't handling the slug soup all that well either.
Minato, Kushina, if only you were around to see how much your son's grown. I'll do my best to surpass your expectations, old friends.
Thank you all for indulging yourselves in this story thus far. Hope you enjoyed it. Now there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, we've got a primary channel called We the Celestials. We the Celestials is what we do here already, but their content's centered around the crazy world and lore of My Hero Academia. So please check us out over there if you're feeling in the mood for a roller coaster of quirky content. We also have another relative to our channel, Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes deep into the facts and lore of a wide variety of anime. It's sure to expand your weeb knowledge for all kinds of series guaranteed. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. If you're perhaps interested in what we do here at WTC, then I would like to extend out an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being we only accept members 16 and older to join our crew. You can find us on our Discord, which you can locate in the description below. Our Discord is an all-around fantastic place to be, whether you're a fan or looking to join our band of misfits. All you gotta do is hit up the recruitment server and sign up for whichever category of work that fulfills your interests. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching and have a great day.